Welcome to VintageTech, the show where we talk about old technology that are popular or unpopular, recognizable or obscure. In this video, we will be talking about an audio format that's going to turn 30 this year, being developed by Sony, and was popular in Japan. That, of course, being the Minidisc. Hashtag Minidisc30! Now, I had to do it because you know why. It's also the first time covering an audio format in VintageTech. Now, as usual, let's talk about history. Shall we? Introduced in September 1992 and released in Japan in the same year, the Minidisc was a format developed by Sony. The technology of the Minidisc is magneto-optical, which means it is capable of writing and rewriting data. That was before the CDRW even existed. The Minidisc competed with a digital compact cassette, which was also released in 1992. These formats were intended to replace the outdated compact cassette in terms of carrying your music around. It's not the first time Sony attempted to replace the compact cassette. That distinction belongs to the DAT, digital audio tape, but it failed in the consumer market. Plus, it started the infamous "home taping is killing music, and that's illegal" anti-piracy slogan in the UK. Okay, that's the introduction here. Now let's talk about different variations of Minidiscs. The recordable Minidiscs can come in different colors and capacities. For example, this black Minidisc can record up to 60 minutes of uncompressed audio. Notice I said uncompressed here. It's because the player I'm about to show can record up to 320 minutes on a Minidisc! Yeah, and this... Oh, sorry, that's upside down. And this blue Minidisc can record up to 74 minutes of uncompressed audio. In addition to recordable Minidiscs, there are also pre-recorded Minidiscs. Most of these were released under Sony's own music labels, such as Columbia Records and Epic. FYI, despite them being both owned by Sony, Columbia Records is not affiliated with Columbia Pictures. They are separate companies. Sony acquired Columbia Pictures from Coca-Cola in 1989, and Sony acquired Columbia Records in 1991. This is to clear the confusion! The design of the pre-recorded discs are different and are similar to a CD, and that it's optical. The label also covers the front of the disc, as in the entire front, unlike the recordable Minidisc, and the shutters on the opposite side of the label. Oh, right! I actually forgot to talk about the design architecture of the recordable Minidisc. So, let's take a look at it. The design of the Minidisc looks similar to a 3.5-inch floppy disk, which was also developed by Sony. In fact, later on in the format's life, they can also store data, like a floppy disk. More on that later. In terms of design, the Minidisc has a shutter that protects the media inside. Space for labeling. And a write protect notch. Those are the defining features of a recordable Minidisc. I already talked about the pre-recorded Minidisc, so I won't waste time explaining them. Regardless, recordable or not, where can these Minidiscs be played on? Well, they can be played on portable Minidisc players, /recorders, and home recorders as well. The latter which defeats half the purpose of the format being portable. Okay, that's interesting. So, Minidisc's own design was inspired by another Sony invention, the 3.5-inch floppy disk. But this is not the only disc in a caddy around. I mean, early CD-ROMs also used caddies, but unlike the Minidisc, you can't take it out, but with a caddy you can. And DVD-RAM, early variations can use cartridges. I already did talk about DVD-RAM. You can check out Developed by Technology Connections, as mentioned in that episode of VintageTech. And Sony later used this disc in a caddy design again with the PSP with its UMD. But we'll talk about the UMD at a later date. Now, here's the fun part. Let's do a demonstration of the Minidisc. Yeah. Okay, now time for the demonstration. I'll be playing these Minidiscs on this MD Walkman. This is a recording MD Walkman called the MZ R700. Now, this Minidisc has G protection, which I don't know what was, but this one uses MDLP, which means you could store 4 CDs onto one Minidisc. It uses different modes. Standard, long play 2, long play 4, and mono. Standard is just standard, uncompressed. Long play 2 pretty much doubles the length. Long play 4 pretty much quadruples the length. And mono pretty much just transfers the mono. Of course, it pretty much doubles the time of it. Like this Minidisc, as I mentioned, can store up to 60 minutes of uncompressed audio. But long play 2, 120. Long play 4, 240. And mono, 120. And this one can store 74 minutes. And I'll list them up right now, see what I mean. Modes. Anyway, let's talk about this Walkman. There's a record mode, which you can switch between ones. This is the record button, which means you have to put it and hit record. Oh, forgot, this one has a sleep mode. Then we have a pause button, and this one guides the menu, and there's play, stop, next. And there's a hold switch, which prevents you from accidentally pressing the buttons. There's an enter button, which is useful for, selecting, confirming selection. Then you have these 2 volume keys, which will let you up the volume, down, and lower the volume. On the back, this one takes 1 AA battery. There are some Minidisc players that can use rechargeable batteries. These rechargeable batteries are often known as gumstick batteries, which are still around. So if you find a Minidisc player that's rechargeable, all you need to do is find a gumstick battery. Oh, this is the only one I could find on the web. On the left, there's an open button, which lets you guessed it, open the tray. Oh, and there's also the end search button. I forgot what it does. But there's a T mark, which means you can place a marker wherever you want. And it creates 2 separate audio tracks. And then on the right, we have this aforementioned battery compartment. Then here's the line in. Use it if you want to record stuff from the radio. There's a microphone input where you can record your own voice. I'll set it on. Then here's headphone jack. And this little expansion port. That is actually used for inline remotes, such as one of those. I don't have them right now, but I'll show what an image looks on. But here's the image shown on screen right now. Anyway, what I forgot to show what's in the inside of this. See what it looks like? Yeah. And there's a little button over there that determines the write protect notch. Sometimes it misses, sometimes it does. But anyway, if you want to play your music, you put this in here, put this in here, close the lid, and voila. Oh, I forgot to mention the button that's actually in the power port. I actually stored some music on here. They were all recorded ahead, so I don't worry. And this one doesn't have a speaker. We had to use our headphones. But I just want you to listen to music. So, what better way to use a Sony format than a Sony branded speaker, of course? This one just actually arrived yesterday in why I'm recording this. This episode, if it airs on Sunday, it's like let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Anyway, let's use this audio cable. Oh, shit, it's tangled up. Anyway, let's plug this in. Oh yeah, I forgot I need to turn it on. I want you to listen to the audio. Take a listen. Yep, you already know what it is. It's You Know Our Names from Xenoblade Chronicles. I used the Definitive Edition version because I think it sounds a lot cooler and intense. Man, someone should make a Xenoblade soundtrack for Minidisc. I mean, it did get a final record in Europe! So if someone makes a custom Minidisc of it, please let me know. Yeah. Anyway, next song. That's from The Simpsons Hit and Run. In case that sounds familiar, I actually used that in the last episode when I talked about the game controller. If you don't know what that looks like, here it is. Yeah. Next song. Hope you recognize this one. Yep, it's the Spiral Mountain theme from Banjo-Kazooie. It's a pretty enjoyable tune. Grant Kirkhope's composition makes it awesome. And heck, that got remixed into Smash Ultimate. Also done by Grant. And recently, he did a rejiggy version, I think. You know what's the irony here? I am using music from a Microsoft property in a Sony format! Yeah, imagine someone does the opposite and he puts, you know, the Ratchet & Clank theme song or any music from Ratchet & Clank games into Microsoft's failed Zune product. Which, in case you don't know, was Microsoft's competitor to the iPod that failed horribly. Which is a shame too, as you could play Doom on it. Now notice that I recorded You Know Names and the Simpsons and Run music in LP2. Well, this one I just recorded uncompressed. And this one is Katina from Star Fox Assault. Now, you can actually add the title. Wow, that's a common problem. I can't show it because I actually have it copy protected, right protect to be honest. But you can add the titles. Display. Whoop, sorry. You can set play mode. No, God, what was? You hit the bass. Oh, why did I keep on pressing that? valves. I didn't forget what that is. Oh. You can also turn on a beep in case of error. And yeah, that's it. Oh, and also, in addition, you can even record your own voice into the Minidisc. This can be great for like a dictation device, even though Sony did produce them under the NT cassette, which uses helical scan, but that's a topic for another video. Or better yet, you could check out TechBone's video, by the way. Card up in the top right corner, or in the link description, by the way. Now, a little side note, I'm recording this using my Razer Kraken X headset, which is the same one I used to record episode 5 of this series. And if you're noticing why you're noticing the audio quality sounds good, you'll know why. Well, that speaks for themselves. If that sounds, I mean, this is from Wario Land Super Mario Land 3. Hashtag bring back Wario Land. I mean, they did brought back Mario Strikers. And Advance Wars. Oh, and Perfect Dark. And of course, it's in mono. Now, considering the Game Boy is an 8-bit system that has a mono speaker, I think it's good to use in that song from there. And here's the song recorded in LP4. You might recognize that. Yep, that's from the Neighborhood. The Neighborhood soundtrack is very cheesy. In case you... This is like how I should use that song on the channel. The first was in my Pingus or Painus video. My second source filmmaker animation video. I gotta make more animations considering my first SFM animation was actually becoming popular recently. Okay, now that was a pretty fun demonstration of the Minidisc, but we're not done yet. We gotta talk about its success in Japan, and its discontinuation and legacy. As with every media format created by Sony that does not start with the word blue, it was more popular in their home country of Japan, to the point of having more pre-recorded albums and an entire computer that can also use Minidiscs for recording, not for data, as demonstrated by user LGR. Speaking of which, let's talk about the other two Minidisc types. MD data is a separate format from the regular Minidisc. It is used as file storage, not for playing music on portable players. Although some drives will play audio Minidiscs. However, they cannot write to recordable Minidiscs. Then finally, there is HiMD, a 1 gigabyte Minidisc that can be used for both audio storage and data storage. Sony then folds an MD data disc technology into the HiMD so that they can store data and audio. However, in order to play the audio on a HiMD, you will need to have a HiMD Walkman. And those are very expensive. If you want to learn more about the MD data discs, check out this video by LGR. Link is in the description, by the way. The last Minidisc players were sold in the year 2013. Just 1 year after the format's 20th anniversary. Is it necessary to kill something at least 1 year after history? Do you guys have any idea? Is it a good idea? Well, I'm gonna take that as a no. Oh well, at least the format was outdated, so it's better for Sony to discontinue it instead of, you know, make it a little future episode. I'm looking at you, Super Mario 3D All-Stars! However, many independent music artists have released their albums on Minidisc, even after format discontinuation. But they use recordable Minidisc instead of coming straight from a pressing plant. Which means, yes, you can re-record over them. I do not recommend that method. Oh, and a little extra trivia here. In The Matrix, Near the beginning, you can see the character, EO, selling audio Minidiscs as storage data. Even though MD data MD data exists, I think it's because the director of film never heard that format. Well, that was fun. Making this episode was a chore. I had to spend over $100 on it. I bought a monster! Cut the Bowser's Fury music! And please fade that image of Fury Bowser away. Thank you. This cable by Monster. I bought so I can record the Minidiscs. Now, for your intents and purposes, I did the recording on a Minidisc prior to making this video. So that way it could save me some time. I also bought this Minidisc player that I mentioned in the demonstration portion, and that actually came with 2 free Minidiscs, because I just want one with at least one to test it out. Then I bought a portable speaker, a Bluetooth portable speaker, that has an aux input. Now, I know there are portable speakers with aux cables, it's just that I just wanted to replace the cable cheaply. I also was a bit reluctant to use video game music, because, well, you might know why. Last week, Nintendo sent copyright blocks to Gilbasunner, which resulted in his channel being taken down. Yeah, as you might expect, people got angry a lot, or rather, was angry, because, well, Nintendo did an Art Direct, and you can imagine the look on my face when they announced Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Yeah, that was a lot fun. Whew. Oh, speaking of those copyright claims, those were actually from the real Nintendo, and not from some troll. And it also shows how broken YouTube's copyright system is. Well, I have never seen the copyright claim from Nintendo. I notice I say from Nintendo because Episode 5 did receive a copyright claim, but that's because I actually used that outtake from Toy Story 2. I am just a bit concerned. If this video gets uploaded and blocked, I will have to, cut out the audio demonstration portion. But, just to be safe, in case I cover any audio formats in the future on VintageTech, for the demonstration portions, I will be using royalty-free music, particularly the ones by Kevin MacLeod. But I will still use video game music, just not in the audio demonstration. And with that, this is the end of this episode of VintageTech. Next episode, we're going to be talking about handheld LCD games. But I think I might want to collaborate with some YouTubers for that episode. But if not, we're going to talk about Nintendo DS. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and ring the bell for more content. Anyways, I'll see you later.